destroy.
No, you do it yourself.
We don't like you.
Yeah, we mean that.
Emphatically.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
It's a good word.
Hello everyone, this is D10 Studios here, back again with another review. Today we're going to be looking at one of my most sought-after pieces of Diesel 10's merchandise. This being the Talk and Action Diesel 10. But before we look at the actual model, let's get into a very brief history on it. Talk and Action Diesel 10 was released alongside the, you guessed it, Talk and Action range from Plarail, and was released on July 19th, 2001. He was voiced by Ginzo Matsuo, who voiced him in the Japan dub of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. His claw, unlike any normal release, can actually move around and can even go 360. This is the only motorized portrayal of Diesel 10 that actually has opposable claw. No, Crash and Repair Diesel 10 doesn't really count in my opinion. He's one of 4 Talk and Action engines to never receive an international release. Kinda sad. With that out of the way, let's get into the review. Also, please subscribe, I'm desperate. So looking at the Talk and Action Diesel 10, it's very interesting how they put him together. So instead of the motor being inside Diesel 10, it's in Splatter and he pushes him forward. Kind of like what Plarail did later on in the years, like with Murdoch and Emily and such. So first up, we have Dodge, and he is actually detachable from Splatter, and this guy is also, I'm not sure if he's rare or not, but this is, I mean, there isn't really anything special about him. He's basically just the same exact mold as their other one, just he doesn't have a motor, and he has like a front coupling, which, you know, admittedly is pretty cool. Alright, so I got him compared to the motorized one, and, you know, like I said, this is literally just it's the same molds, it's just this guy's a free roller. I will say, though, that the shades of green they chose are very different. This one's a lot brighter, I feel. But what is very nice about this Dodge is if you have your Splatter, you can just couple up to him and, you know, you can move along with him. So, you know, that's pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, there isn't really much to say about Dodge, honestly. He's probably the most basic part about this set. It's an empty body shell, I guess, so there's that. Alright, next up, we got onto the more interesting twin of the bunch, Splatter. Now, if we look at the Talk and Action one compared to the actual motorized one, there's something about them, and I don't really know what it is, but I feel like, I don't know, I think this one might be just, like, a little smaller, or maybe he's a lot more, like, squished in more, I don't know. There's something about this one looks a lot different, and I'm not sure what it is. The face is, this guy looks like he went through a little bit more of a modification in this face. I don't know. There's just something a little weird about them. But yeah, as you can see, just, you know, like the same thing with Dodge. It's just the same mold, but they just kind of, you know, had to switch it up a bit. So for a closer inspection on Splatter, we're just gonna, you know, murder him for a second here and look at his motor. Now, what's very interesting about his motor is, for some reason, the things that hold the batteries, they're slanted for some reason. I would honestly expect them to be straight. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. Maybe it was because of room. I don't know. But yeah, and also on the bottom, yeah, I think it's kind of weird that he has to house 3 batteries. I don't really like the idea of having 3 batteries, as it adds a lot of weight to him, but it's fine, I guess, whatever. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, we can now get to the main reason why I got this. Diesel 10. Now, if I bring in Plarail's actual version of Diesel 10, there are pretty obvious differences. Now, the reason why everyone wants this model, which is same goes for the Bandai Tech Diesel 10, is the claw. Now, on Plarail's normal one, you can see that the only range of articulation you get is opening Pinchy's buckets. You having fun yet? But on this one, Pinchy actually has articulation in the arm. You can go up, down, 360. I'm not really going to do that because the joint's kind of stiff. Now, besides the claws, there are actually other differences between the two. So on the Plarail model here, there's obviously this opening where you would open him and put a battery inside of him. But on the Talk and Action one, this section here is completely flush, which is honestly kind of weird considering that in a video showcasing a bunch of Plarail models, this section here looks like it could have been opened, which leads me to believe that this toy originally was supposed to have a battery inside of him, which honestly should have happened. Other differences here, the Plarail model has a matte coating over it, but the Talk and Action one has a nice glossy clear coat. Pretty interesting. But what I think another difference is between the two is that this guy can talk. But now that we have a basic overview of the model done, let's get into the good parts. So what I really like about this is the fact that Pinchy can move. It's an obvious step up from the Plarail model and can actually move. Mine, of course, I think originally, it was supposed to stay up, but since this is like 20-something years old, it obviously can't now. You might have seen in the intro of the video that it was standing up, and that's just because I used this like old little chain here, and I just kind of put it under there for support, I guess, you know, something like that. But yeah, I think this was a really interesting feature that they only added to this one, and it's kind of weird because I really think they could have just added this to this one too. I don't understand why they didn't. I don't understand why they didn't do it to this one, because it's pretty obvious that they can achieve this. It's kind of weird. And even if there aren't all the, you know, giant hydraulics on Pinchy's arm and stuff, it is really cool that we did get a version of Plarail Diesel 10 that's claw can actually move, because honestly, that's one of the big problems with Plarail's Diesel 10 is that you only get this. This is all you get for range of Pinchy, which isn't really cool considering how Diesel 10 is known for having the giant claw that can move. And now, honestly, I really wish we did get the pivot point in the middle so he could actually bend down, but I mean, it's not much of a loss in my book. I mean, the fact that we even got one that could move is pretty interesting in and of itself. And also, I think one of the funniest things about this is that it only released in Japan and I don't think it was ever planned to have a national release. But imagine that. That would have been honestly really cool if we did get this in the States and we actually had Neil Crone do lines for that. Oh my god, that would have been really cool. Now that we're done talking about basically the good stuff, let's get into some of the negatives I have with this model. Now, I think the biggest issue with this model is the fact that splatter is the motor. I honestly don't know why they couldn't have put the motor in here and just basically done what they did to Dodge and just have him be like a free shell, just kind of move him around. Honestly, I really wish they went about that, just because, you know, for projects and such, you could just use this on its own without, you know, having to take away that. Now, in and of itself, does it really matter? Not really, I guess, but it's still a bummer that we didn't get him just with the motor, because I honestly think they could have. Maybe the reason why they did it is because this is what houses all the voice lines and such, but honestly, I think you could have found a way to do it. My other issue with this is this should have been a different face. Now, seems kind of weird that I would point that out when most of the other talking actions don't have other faces, but honestly, when you have Thomases that have different faces, like, you know, this mad face here, I honestly really think it would have been awesome if we maybe got an angry face or, like, just a different variant of his smiling face or something, because, like, this face, I said this in my review of the normal Plarail Diesel 10, this face just doesn't really feel like Diesel 10 to me. I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's the, like, cold, sunken-in eyes, or, like, maybe it's the eyebrows or something, but he doesn't look it just doesn't feel like Diesel 10, even though the face does kind of look like him. It looks kind of weird to me. Another thing I wish they improved on was the actual buckets of Pinchy. Now, I think I said this in my review, but the Pinchy himself kind of just looks like, Pinchy of himself just looks really, like, squished and very small, I feel like, and I honestly think that should have been improved here, like, maybe actually give him, like, a more, honestly, I think it's flatter, is it not? Yeah. They flattened it even more on the Talkin' Action one, so that's saying something. Really do think they should have improved Pinchy's mold here, because what's even funnier is this Pinchy's even more squished than this one. And this is still pretty squished. Like, what's happening? Yeah, I really wish they went about improving their mold on this. What are my overall thoughts on the Talkin' Action Diesel 10? I honestly think this is a really cool Diesel 10 and is way better than the Plarail one by any day. You know, the fact that we even got a talking variant of Diesel 10 is honestly cool in and of itself, even if he wasn't released worldwide, and it was only in Japan. But even then, you know, I love his Japan voice a lot. And you know, having a toy that has the same voice actor is honestly really cool. But yeah, now that we have all that out of the way, let's see this guy run around, shall we? Yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded anything in like a month. I, out of nowhere, kind of lost motivation to make anything, and also I've been working on a couple other projects. The first project I've been working on is my review on Magic Railroad. I've been writing the script for a bit, and I have a decent chunk finished so far, but I focused too much on that to the point where I forgot to make any actual videos. The next video after this one is probably going to be a video on Reneus's worst episode, as I've already started writing for it. There's also another big project in the works, but I'm not going to say anything until a teaser comes out eventually. It involves Diesel 10, that's all I'll say for now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe as it helps out the channel a bunch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.